All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's such an exciting moment to come before you, to come into your homes. Allow me into your homes this evening, and just try to get this thing to work. All right, so let's see here. And if you're joining me, if you can share the link with at least one person, and let the other person also share with another, and let's do this together. Okay. Step Out, Step In is a weekly podcast to encourage, motivate, inspire you to step out of your comfort zone, to step in to what you have been designed for and to do. Hello, this is David Joe. Please join me this and every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Step Out, Step In podcast, live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, like and follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn. One more favor, share and comment. Hope to see you on Monday at 6 p.m. All right, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're watching from and when you happen to watch the replay. And I want to welcome you all to episode 39, episode number 39. Can you believe that? Let's see here. All right, trying to switch this over. Please bear with me. Okay. All right. So, again, welcome you all. Episode 39 of my weekly Step Out, Step In podcast every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be hosting a live Step Out, Step In podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube page. If you haven't yet done so, please do so. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so that anytime I post something, you will be notified. Follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn. And if you can support this page, this podcast, I just dropped a link in there which says buy me a coffee. A $5 donation will go a long way, or will help me, what should I say, will help me make it better. Well, let me put it that way. All right, so there's a link in there. You can click on that, which says buy me a coffee. And of course, I'm a coffee drinker. I love coffee. And again, this is episode 39. And tonight I want to talk about building meaningful relationships. Building meaningful relationships. And I'm your host, David Joe, and today I'll be delving into the topic that is essential for our well-being and happiness. As I said earlier, building meaningful relationships. You know, this was a topic I received from one of loyal subscribers, and this individual called and sent a message and said, why don't we talk about relationships? I said, okay, that's a good idea. So tonight I'll be dealing with building meaningful relationships. You know, whether it's a family and or your spouse or partner, friends, a meaningful connection can enrich our lives in countless ways. And, you know, so I want you to grab your favorite beverage, if it's tea, coffee, whatever it is, your favorite beverage. Find a comfortable spot wherever you are and listen back on this journey of connection together. Now, building meaningful relationships is very vital and essential as humans. And as a person of faith, let me say this. God created us for relationships because He is a God of relationships. You know, when God had to create man, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit all came together. And God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. It says, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. If we want to reference scriptures, Genesis 1:26. So they all came together and said, we are going to make man in our image and after our likeness, so man can relate. We'll build for relationships. That is why also in the scriptures it tells us that we should not forsake the assembly of ourselves together, nor forsake the assembly of ourselves together, as in the manner of some, but exhorting one another. And much more as you see the day approaching. You know, God did not create you and I to live in isolation. He created us and He built us for relationships. If you're just joining me, I would just want you to share the link with somebody, one person, and let that one person also share with another person, and let's do this together. You know, relationships are gradually getting superficial. I don't know about you, but, you know, you can have 5,000 friends on your social media feed, but there's no connection with all these people in there. So it's getting so superficial. So with this said, what is relationship? And let me try to define relationship, then we'll get into it. You know, relationship refers to a connection. It refers to an association. It refers to a bond between two or more individuals or entities. Let me say that again. A relationship refers to a connection, association, or a bond between two or more individuals or entities. It involves the way these parties interact, communicate, engage with each other, whether on personal, emotional, social, or professional level. Relationships can take various forms, including romantic partnerships, friendship, family connections, work collaborations, and more. And relationships are characterized by shared experience or shared experiences, emotions, values, mutual interactions, and they contribute to the overall dynamics and quality of connection between individuals or entities involved. So let's look at how we can build meaningful relationships. Number one, we need to understand the foundation of meaningful relationships. And to kick things off, let me talk about the foundation of any strong and meaningful relationship. In order to establish and maintain a meaningful relationship, trust, communication, empathy are like the building blocks that hold everything together. Trust, communication, empathy are like the building blocks that holds everything together. Now you know that without trust, a relationship cannot flourish, ladies and gentlemen. And how do you establish and nurture trust? How do you establish and nurture trust? And I'm glad you asked. Trust is built over time through consistent honesty, reliability, and vulnerability. It's about being there for each other, showing up when it matters, and being open about our feelings and concerns. Gradually we're getting into a dispensation where the feelings of other people no longer play a role in our individual lives. But as we go through this, I'm hoping that we will, go back and look at relationships and how we can build, not only build, but maintain that valuable relationship, meaningful and valuable relationships. So I believe you and I can start applying these principles to every current relationship you have and watch them blossom. Now let's look at the art of communication. Let's look at the art of communication. And as I dive into communication, communication is the lifeblood of any successful relationship. It's the lifeblood of any successful relationship, from the corporate world to your personal life to your family life. Communication is a lifeblood or the bloodline. And effective communication involves active listening, validating each other's feelings, and expressing thoughts with respect. Gradually, we get into a mean society. Sometimes I just get on social media and I'm one of the silent observers. I just go in, watch a few things, listen to it, and I come out. And I've seen, and sometimes what I do is I watch these comments as these live streaming or Facebook live events are going on. And sometimes some of the comments people leave in there can be so mean and demeaning. Avoiding blame and practicing I statement can prevent misunderstanding and conflicts. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be blamed for something I never did. You know, sometimes when people are blaming, they go you, and I, and you know. So I want to encourage you to practice active listening. Don't interrupt, except maybe what's in your mind. You have this a temporary amnesia when if you don't speak it out, it's going to go away. But if not, just write it down. Let's practice active listening and open-hearted conversations to foster deeper connections. I also want to talk about empathy and understanding. You know, empathy is another level of developing and establishing that deeper relationship, building a meaningful relationship. You know, empathy is another essential ingredient in meaningful relationship. Empathy. And it is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. You know, cultivating empathy allows you and I to connect on a deeper level. It involves putting ourselves in other people's shoes, acknowledging their emotions, and offering genuine support. You know, sometimes we are quick to judge. I remember hearing a story about this gentleman in the airport with his 2 children, and he was sitting quietly. And his children were just all over the place, making noise, screaming, yelling. And this man was sitting quietly, and almost everybody at the airport was saying it to themselves that how can this man be so irresponsible, leaving his kids to disturb the whole place and not even paying attention to them and all that. Until one lady said, I want to do something different. So she got closer to this gentleman. The gentleman was sitting quietly while the kids, the 2 children were screaming, playing, yelling and all that. You know how sometimes people at the airport will just will just what do you call it, tend to mind their own business and everything about you is wrong. So this lady approached this gentleman and wanted to find out why he was sitting quietly and allowing the kids to make so much noise at the airport. And when she got closer, the gentleman told her, you know, I just lost my wife, and I don't even know where I am at the moment. I'm confused. I'm not hearing anything as of this moment. So the lady hearing that got the kids around and was able to engage them in a way where they weren't disturbing other people anymore. But she was only able to do that after understanding what the gentleman was going through. So sometimes don't let us be quick to judge. Let's understand. Empathy will make you understand the person's story. Try to wear their shoes. Somebody once said that try to wear the shoes of other people. And after you have walked a mile and you understand what they are going through, you'll be far away from them. So you have to walk a mile back. So it enhances emotional bonding you share. I also want to talk about nurturing relationships over time. Nurturing relationships over time. You know, as relationships evolve, they need nurturing and care to remain strong. You know, it is said that if anything is left to chance, if anything is left unattended, entropy, disorder, and deterioration will occur. If anything is left to chance, if anything is left unattended, you don't pay attention to it, yes, entropy, disorder and deterioration will occur. And the same with relationships. If you leave relationships unattended, disorder sets in and that relationship deteriorates. I don't know about you, but there are certain people in your lives, they only come in when they need something. Anytime you see their call, you know that they are in for something, and once they get what they want, that's it until they need something again. I used to have this gentleman that will call me every now and then, and anytime he calls, I knew he needed something. And sometimes, the moment I see the call, when I pick up, I say, "How can I help you? What do you need?" So let's nurture relationships over time. Don't let us leave it to chance. Let's build meaningful relationships. And nurture relationships, we have to. It has to be regular quality time. We shared experiences and expressing gratitude, and that can keep the relationship vibrant. Yes, of course. Yes, sometimes we're all busy. But out of our busy schedules, out of our busy moments, let's make time to spend time. At least if it's 5 minutes, treasure it. It's about caring. It's about caring. It's about creating lasting memories and continue to prioritize each other. And I want to remind you that maintaining relationships in an ongoing effort that brings immeasurable joy. So, just before I wrap up, let me do this just before I wrap up, and I'll talk about the takeaways. Just watch the space, and I'll be right back. See, when he wanted to act well, it begins. All right, so let's do this. All right, so let's look at the takeaways. Let's remember that building meaningful relationships takes time and effort, but the rewards are truly worth it. But the rewards are truly worth it. Well, as a wrap up, this wrap ups today's episode on building meaningful relationships. We've explored trust, communication, empathy, and nurturing bonds over time. It is important to consistently invest time and effort into nurturing a meaningful relationship. Open communication, active listening, empathy, and the willingness to work through challenges together are essential in maintaining strong and fulfilling connections. And this involves husband and wife as well. Remember that it's the small gestures and consistent efforts that makes all the difference. It's not a big thing, it's just the small ones. And that is what makes the difference. And I always end a podcast with it. Step out of every distraction, step into being focused. Now, one thing that I know, and as I'll keep saying, and I'll say it all the time, is nobody came into this world empty-handed. Everybody was packaged with amazing gifts, talents, and abilities. That is why you're so unique. That is why you're so special. You're so amazing. And you're one of a kind. God made you so special. That is why there's nobody that looks like you. Nobody will ever look like you. Even identical twins, they have their differences. They look identical, but they are never the same. So your uniqueness, your gifts and talents and abilities should never go wasted. You know, Dr. Miles Monroe, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, said that the richest place in this world is not the gold fields of South Africa or the oil fields in Saudi Arabia, but it is in the cemetery where people with gift, talents, abilities who never unwrapped them got buried with it. Don't be that one. Don't leave this world with the gifts, talents, and abilities still unwrapped inside you. Unwrap it. And I know somebody is going to be a blessing from your gifts, talents, and abilities. So again, thank you for tuning in to my Step Out, Step In podcast, either live or if you happen to watch the replay. And please don't forget to subscribe to my podcast on YouTube, share and comment. Click on the Buy Me a Coffee link to support this podcast. Follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn and watch this space. I hope this is going to work this time. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. I think it's working out. Hey, this is David. I'm a pastor at All Nations Church, Virginia, located down here in Stafford, Virginia. I want to personally invite you to worship with us this Sunday. When you get here, you'll find a welcoming family. You'll participate in our uplifting praise and worship songs. You'll also hear a Christ-centered, dynamic message. We are a church to come discover, where we are restoring people and releasing their potential by connecting them to God. And we are located at 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, Virginia, and the zip code is 22554. We'll see you this Sunday at 2 p.m. All right, so again, if you're looking for a Bible-believing, family-oriented church, I would like to personally invite you to worship with us this Sunday and every other Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the address is 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, Virginia. His zip code is 22554. So if you're within the Stafford, Fredericksburg, Quantico, Dumfries area, I want to personally invite you. You know what? COVID is over. Let's come in and let's do this together. Let's build this relationship together, this meaningful relationship. And for more information, you can visit us on the web, www.allnationsva.org. I also want to personally introduce my spiritual father, Dr. Frank Ofosu-Appiah. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. he hosts a live YouTube and Facebook Ambassador of Hope. And he has started a series on hard questions soft answers. Hard questions, soft answers. So this Tuesday, tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in the United Kingdom, it's 11 p.m. If you're in Ghana, it's 10 p.m. But it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And send in your hard questions for a soft answer. You know, we all have questions that every now and then we battle through. And most especially in this dispensation, people have a lot of questions. If you are there and you have these questions, please send it in and tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I mean, you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. All right. So let's see here. All right. So this actually brings me to the end of this episode. Thank you for tuning in to this live podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And thank you for sharing this time with me. Next week, I'll be talking about how to prevent meaningful relationships from deteriorating. How to prevent meaningful relationships from deteriorating. And, you know, over time, there has over time period deteriorated, and you wish it never did. No, gradually we drift. So next week I want to deal with that, and don't miss it. And share your comments, and if there's any suggestion of any topic you want me to handle, send it in, and we'll see how best we can handle that. So don't forget to subscribe again, follow me, like, share, comment, and support me by buy me a coffee. Let's connect on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and watch the space. Again, thank you for joining me, and until same time next week, keep spreading love, understanding, and connection. This is David Joe signing off from my Step Out, Step In podcast. Stay tuned for more inspiring content, and I say goodbye.